Whenever you're ready.
Right. Okay, we'll start in the lab and then head over.
All right.
Alright. Well, it appears that our meeting is right now, so
Also, just
let us
as a
head up
reminder,
there.
now that you're back, we do have those extra Tiger 1 serums in the fridge.
Tiger 1 or Tiger 2?
Tiger 1, which is actually wonderful since we've been looking for those.
Yes, we'll need to study those ones then as well. I'll definitely help with trying to figure out the Tiger 2. Question is, are you ready for your half of the talk?
Wouldn't have asked for it if I wasn't. That would be silly.
All right. I really wish we had a ramp there. But that's just
Be a
me
really
being
big
lazy.
ramp. Hello, Mr. Toku.
Good evening.
Good morning.
Or morning, or whatever time it is.
Yes.
It's one of the two.
It's always a conundrum what time of day it is.
I'm glad to see you back from your honeymoon. How was it?
Group of plans got shot down. Black market is a lot of
Nice.
disarray, yes.
Yeah.
Trying to deal with the police
really.
presence.
Yes, they are becoming more and more troubling. All the more reason why we need to move ourselves in motion. But we're not here to discuss big plans or anything like that.
No, we are not.
Today is
What's
all about you, Miss Foxglove.
I suppose. Well, for the most part. We also have some very interesting science notes to go over as well. Don't forget.
Indeed.
Well,
What do you think? Which order should we go in? I feel like I feel like the first half could probably do without distraction, or the science half could probably do without distraction.
Indeed.
As it is quite important.
Indeed. So, as you know about what, well, you actually don't know about the last chance, there's been a couple of things that we've, via necessity, have had to keep hidden from everyone. Until recently. Apparently, the Fallen has gained access to their own last chance vial.
Really? How'd they manage
Indeed.
that?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea, but they have it now, so I think they've only gotten it just recently.
Well, it's not much of a last chance now, is it? It's more like a, I don't know, second chance.
Well,
And that's funny enough exactly what
I
it
suppose
does.
about that,
Well-
yes.
What
When I
do you mean?
described it as their quote-unquote last chance, or what they're trying to do with the serums is of regeneration, right? What the last chance actually does is, if you're going to die, and it's already been predetermined you're going to die, be it you got shot in the face, head decapitated, shot through the heart, drink the last chance and you'll gain a second chance.
How to drink a last chance when your head's cut off. Or anything.
Well, you
doesn't
put the
Suppose,
head back and then you drink.
Metaphorically, you can
that's-
doesn't
inject
matter.
it as
It's-
well.
alright.
You can
It's-
inject it as well. It's just.
It's gonna say that'd be a really gruesome and dark if you had to slap someone's head back and open up their dead mouth and go like, "All right, drink up, buddy."
Yes, one of the reasons I was able to tell what this is was due to my work up in Upper Saphira, I've seen a couple of the ingredients before. There's a lot of ingredients that I don't know what's in there, but what it does is
Are we
Bring it back.
fallen aware of this?
that's what we had to discuss with them the other day, or else they would have wasted it, because we actually prevented them from doing any extreme experiments with it. With Miss Marge was going to actually experiment with rats on it. But she is going to be examining it and taking extra precaution now. But
Yeah, we figured
due
they'll
to the
find
fact
out.
that there's not just one.
Yeah, we figured they'd find out what it does eventually anyway. So, well, might as well save them the trouble of wasting half of it before finding out.
Indeed. Granted, no two sides will have a full vial, which means it won't actually work. So if you try to, that's one of the things as well as while we're doing it now, is if someone tries to take the vial for themselves, since a friend died or something and they injected themselves or inject the friend with it, because it's not a full vial, it won't work. Much worse things will happen.
Right. So it has to be a specific amount. If not, then you become this
Indeed, yes.
fucked up thing,
Indeed.
or implode, or something like that.
Well, we
Indeed.
have no idea, but probably.
Yes, most of this recent light of this effect happening, we've only learned recently from Miss Marge's findings on the rest of the serum,
Hmm.
Mhm.
which
And are we sure that this last chance thing, whenever someone takes it and they're on death's bed, if there are any other particular effects other than supposedly bringing them back from the dead, any other side effects that you're aware of, or
there is
could
not.
be possible?
It's what
So you're
they're
telling
trying.
me
If one of them believe it's what they're trying
Marlowe-
to replicate.
Marlowe made something that was actually somewhat good for once? for people?
No, I believe it's what they're trying to mass produce. All of this ingredients are from Upper Saphira.
Hmm.
The serums as we know them are essentially the cheap knockoffs.
Indeed, and what they're trying to replicate. And in light of recent news, apparently, they're extra planar.
Mhm.
Like literally out of this world. We thought they were alien because we never seen them on this world. The ingredients in this world before, little microorganisms in the serum. But in recent light, it appears that it's not even of this plane of reality.
I believe that was
Okay,
specifically the tiger
that's-
serum, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Specifically, the tiger serum is
As well as the Malleus Promethean ninja bot things. Those are alien, but I don't know if those are planar as well. But assuming if the two are linked, which they already have a pretty good link, they might just be.
Great. Okay, dealing with something literally out of this universe. That's as if our job couldn't get any weirder.
Indeed.
Alright. Anything else of note that the Fallen have they traded any information with you in regards to reports to serums and whatnot? That's
Yes, they
pretty
gave us.
polite of
The-
things.
two very important pieces of information. First
Mhm.
things first, there was something about a hospital. Of some sort.
Yes.
Yes, I'm aware of that. That will be a
Ah,
joint operation
wonderful.
that we will both be taking part in.
Indeed, and I don't know if I mentioned to you, but
And there was a second thing. There was a second thing which
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Apparently, there was mention of scientists being stationed there,
That there is.
and while I was working with discovering Mr. Roller's blood, and that inspiration came to me that perhaps if we captured one of those scientists and unbrainwashed them, they would be quite overjoyed in helping in that department of figuring out what they're doing.
That is, if you can break through the brainwashing.
I believe we
which won't be
can.
an easy task.
Well, of course not, but it is possible. And the other key fact that we've learned, or at least another one at least, Miss Marge created another Rat Hulk and is now in the sewers somewhere roaming around.
I've heard that too. That's not something we're gonna deal with, and I don't think
No.
we should.
hopefully not.
That's just another giant horrific thing in Saphira. It'll be fine. But it's good to know in case we're ever down in the sewers and we have to make quick escapes or other entrances into other parts of the city.
Indeed.
There was also, I guess, finally the matter of the mysterious contact, which was it Miss Anne that mentioned it? Someone who I don't know anything about. They were not named, but they said that you would know who they are.
Yes.
That I know.
What was it? No, Mr.
Forget it.
Felix, I believe. Connected to Mr. Sparrow, whoever that
Yes.
is.
Mr. Felix is one of, or the inside agent of Marlow City, I believe.
I
He
see.
says he's an ex-scientist, or well, a scientist there. However, the way he acts and what Sparrow has told us, that we're not to trust him completely, just to a certain degree. So the fact that he calls himself a scientist, I very much so doubt it because he acts in such a peculiar way.
Well, if
I
they
see.
were a scientist from Marlow, then they might have been one of the original only dozen that's not brainwashed. Otherwise, every other scientist there is. Unless he's been unbrainwashed, or he's
I
one of
think
the...
he's probably just a close guard, maybe.
Maybe.
And Mr. Sparrow, I believe, was able to convince to the effect. From what I understand, Mr. Sparrow was an ex-convict, so to speak, within Marlow.
Right.
Very
I see.
interesting stuff.
Makes you wonder how many have actually gotten out.
Well, it seems like there've been a few recently. The Fallen have a missing patient, from what I can tell.
Indeed.
And then
as
there was
well
that
as,
mouse one as well.
Yes, when that name was brought up in relation to the last chance serum, both of them got very different demeanor. They got very
Sad.
concerned about...
You
Yes,
said both
sad.
of them?
Yes, it was Miss Marge and Miss Anne.
See.
It was the only way to get to Miss Marge, since she was very, how do I say it? Unkindly towards Whisperers. Every time you've interacted during the treaties or elsewhere, she was one of the only ones to actually actively avoid contact. So, it was either her or probably another one, maybe the Russian or something, that's always with her. So we've decided just to go straight to Miss Anne for help with that, without letting anyone else in. So it was just those two. Keep the spread of information minimal.
Is there anything else to mention about these reports or anything? You also received your two Tiger 1 serums as well.
Yes, of course. They're stowed safely
Told him about
in
that.
the lab. Yes.
Yes, we'll be taking a look at that as soon as we can.
Very good.
Also, the only last thing I can think of that pertains to quote-unquote science is they are going to be researching the plate from one of the Malleus ninjas, the Promethean, or Promethean ninjas, or whatever they're called.
Late, as in their armor?
Yes, though we had a little sample that we were managed to break off. That we've all tried all of our testing and have no results. So they're going to be trying their methods on
Alright.
it.
That's fine.
And I believe it might be better if they try to figure it out.
Why do you say that?
Well, that's how I learned the name Promethean was from Lisa.
I see.
So everyone has secrets, so
I see. Well, now we move on to the main matter.
Is it really? I suppose it is.
Of course. Scientists are kind of in short supply. And, well, we all need our scientists to help do their bit. But if there's any reasoning or why you want to leave, I'd like to know.
Well, I do have multiple reasons, but as I mentioned to you in, I guess, the short text, it is somewhat of a personal debt that I do wish to repay.
Is that the only reason that you wish to repay this personal debt, or?
Mm, well, I suppose it's also probably no secret that I have attempted to well, at least talk with the fallen in the past, back when it was not yet allowed to do so. Fortunately, or perhaps
Everyone has.
fortunately, or perhaps unfortunately, it was literally impossible to do so at the time.
Hmm. And do you wish to make this a permanent transfer or a temporary one?
Hmm. Well, permanent is very loaded. Obviously, we don't know what, or I don't know what things will look like in months or
Well,
maybe even
perhaps
years
until
down the
you've
line, but
repaid your debts.
perhaps.
Are we allowed to inquire about this debt
Of
you
course.
speak of, or? Well, please share with the
might
party.
might seem a little bit silly, but I suppose we all remember the us raiding the old fallen base. Well, as it turns out, I am the one that is at least, well, somewhat responsible for Mr. Reese's life. Of course, it would have been, if it wasn't him, it would have been someone else, but well.
Alright, I understand. What's your thoughts on this, Nicholas? How badly would this affect us in regards to lab work?
Honestly, the issue is we can't really do much science as it is now, and we haven't been able to do much over the past couple of months due to the lack of serums and the like. The only times we've been able to actually do science is the sporadic new information of like Mr. Roller or the Promethean ninja or every little bit because we've only had so few vials, we haven't been able to actually properly test
Hmm.
anything as of yet. And then when the catbot was missing, we've had no security to be able to stop any transformations gone bad.
Oh yes, Miss Marge. That does remind us. Didn't Miss Marge offer? Apparently, they have at least a few serums to go around if Mr. Roller needs them, specifically for that
Indeed, they
use.
have.
That's definitely possible, and it's one that we can safely confirm is alright to use on the kid, then we
Of
use it.
course,
But we don't
if
make any judgments too quickly.
do need to
Yes,
investigate the
and he
viability of
needs.
the Tiger One before using it, because well, better safe than sorry, I
If it's
suppose.
anything like, if it's anything like the Whisper 1 and Whisper 2, then it is extremely volatile and will result in probably premature death. He needs the Tiger 2 serum.
Did you learn anything much from his bile that he puked up? Does it help to create any connections?
It's just bile. That's just mixed with the remnants, ineffective material of Tiger 2.
Would a blood sample help?
Well, that's what we've looked at, was the blood sample
Wow.
from Merler. That's how we learned that he had Tiger 2 in his blood.
Hmm.
So,
Maybe Marge might have some research notes in regards to Tiger 2 and Tiger 1 serums that might prove useful in this regards.
Indeed.
So I'd inquire about that.
Yes, we have all of our research notes that we've gotten Wednesday, I believe, during the finalization of the treaty.
We should
So.
look going through that. I imagine they're quite extensive.
They are so many rat experiments that's been highly detailed and doodles galore.
That sounds about right.
Suppose you.
You do understand that, Miss Foxglove, even if I do approve this, I will be speaking to Miss Anne personally about this matter and gaining her approval if she's okay to allow
Of
a
course.
whisperer to come over. And then, even after she approves, you will have to have a meeting with Mr. O'Delly, which I have informed him about. And he says that he'll leave it up to my judgment to whether or not I should send you over or not. So, when you're going over to Mr. O'Delly, make sure you have a good reason. I don't want to waste his time, so to speak. He's a busy man.
Of course, of course. Seemed, from the times that I've met him, he seemed fairly amenable. So I'm sure.
He has. He's come around a lot since from what he used to be like. I would know. I've seen it firsthand.
Right.
In regards to the alliance, though, Nicholas, any thoughts on the matter? I know you were absent of the meeting.
Which meeting?
The alliance meeting of officially making an alliance now.
On Wednesday?
Yes.
I was there.
Were you? Oh, yes, you were. You were there to write it.
Yes.
I forgot. I only saw you briefly there at that point there, and then the rest of the day I didn't see it at all.
Well, yeah, you've had meetings upon meetings, so. Same with
You'll
Miss
also be
Anne, Mr. O'Delly.
Yeah, you'll also be glad to know Miss Figment was quite impressed in the Whisperer's performance at her training session. Apparently, they did so well that they were even to put a council member in their back foot, so that's pretty high praise from her.
It
Wonderful.
seems that we've been getting the good graces of a lot of council members as of late. Hmm.
It all matters only if it can actually work at Marlowe.
Indeed. Has the good doctor contacted you since during my break about the catbot?
He's mentioned only about perfecting his daughter, and that's about it, but he hasn't made any other further comments on the matter.
Right, then that's interesting because he said on Saturday, not this last one, the one before, that he would be contacting our quote unquote best, or contacting us to have our best engineer work on her, so apparently that didn't follow through, or something's come up on his part.
So I think he's busy at the minute. We have a few things on the agenda actually at the minute in regards to just everything.
Mm.
Amongst this training Figment's doing in the Alliance and whatnot, we have a few options on our front lines that we need to. I am going to be gathering another meeting sometime soonish, and like you to be there. And we'll be discussing a few of our next steps in regards to things. It probably will happen sometime after our mission to hit this lab. So hopefully we'll yield something more useful, and there'll be something else we can talk about it. But after the lab, we have a few things on the line, like a possible acquisition of a mech. Yep, that's all I can say about that. And
Hmm.
in regards to getting into Marlow City, because we have two options in a sense. Well, we have one option, really, and it's that we will need a group of volunteers from both Fallen and Whisperers to allow them to more or less be brought into Marlow, to which then they'd have to work together to literally open the front doors to us.
Indeed.
And that's a suicide mission, but that's the kind of mission we need to do to get into there. There's also the matter of putting forward a very close front door forward base, which would definitely give many boons to us in our fight, which is setting up a forward base in Ravenholm. But of course, that can be problematic with the creatures that roam there.
Indeed. Depending on how it's set up, it would be able to have a nice, quote unquote, third party protection in the form of those monsters.
Yes, it seems they have a lot of sensitivity to sound, from what I hear. So I think we could utilize that in some way to either keep them away from our base by maybe setting up some sort of device that would be able to affect their hearing to draw them away from our operations.
That could work. Set up a couple sonic emitters. Have we
But
talked?
they are quite sensitive, so to the sound. So I think literally
You
anything.
think they'd have fun with bubble wrap?
Oh dear.
And might
Set out layers and layers of bubble
might
wrap
waste their
before
time.
they even make it over there.
Who knows? We might even be able to make a device and lead them straight to Marlowe.
This is also true, which has its own boons and whatnot, because then again, we're going to be fighting, and then just all of a sudden, a creature that can only rip you in half just by, like, sticking its hands into you. Which would be good to get rid of Mr. Hermes, if you ask me. If he doesn't go
Indeed.
cowboy on their ass. It just lasts it.
Yes, so. Alright. I can definitely see that working. But if I can make a request for the hospital mission, if I can go on that mission to try to acquire that scientist.
Of course. I
Perfect.
think there wouldn't be. I'm going to be doing missions a bit differently now. I'm not going to just keep on as tradition always says, bringing on new recruits to prove loyalty and whatnot. And I think that rule kind of needs to go out the window a bit because we have people here that are a lot more experienced and ready. Not to say that we can't bring our own new recruits
We need a
on
good
missions.
balance,
Just
as always.
yes.
Well, and I believe armor repair is quite a big one in that as well. Who's actually ready to fight?
Hmm.
So, especially how expensive some of these repairs are.
Yes. This mission to to acquire this mech will be only acquiring the materials for it. I don't know if it's some sort of prototype or something like this. Something Felix has fed to me and Anne. But we'd be getting the materials for it, and then we'd have to build it,
Right.
which will be its
Okay.
own sort of mission in a sense, because we can build it off-site if we find somewhere that is capable of helping building such large machines like that. Or we could risk it and bring the materials into Marlow and pray to God that they have some form of mech building device there, which I don't think would be too far off because there's been reports of these crab mech robots roaming outside Marlow. Apparently have like giant mounted fucking guns on them, like full on miniguns with like night vision and shit like that.
Crab mechs. Hmm.
Crab mechs, yeah. I
Please,
don't
please
know
don't tell
what it
Rocket
is.
because she's just gonna assume they're Metal Gears.
I didn't even think of that. What the
But what
fuck?
if they are?
What if they are, Nicholas? What if Metal Gear is right here? You know?
Then we're gonna need some sort
We
of
must
transport
surpass
to
it.
get us in, other
We
than
need
just
yes,
our car.
our mech will surpass Metal Gear. We have a helicopter.
Depends on the helicopter. It doesn't really do well against machine gun fire. If it's a standard one, if it's a military one, that might be different. But
The crabs do a very good job at looking up. I hope not.
probably going to
Let's
be 5 different ways of getting in. So
let's fly a drone in there first before we fly the helicopter in and it gets shot down.
I do have one.
I mean,
There's a
that's
camera on
I'll
it, but it's more of a
leave
personal one. So
I don't think
don't
we
think
need
it would
to
be.
do that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it'd be big enough,
We'll be
but we
fine.
do have. But I do have a camera drone that I can deploy and search
But
around.
first, we need to get you close to Marlow. So maybe we'll save that if we go into Ravenholm.
Indeed.
Hmm.
So are you sure about making this, we'll say, temporary leave for now?
Quite sure. I mean, I wouldn't have asked if I wasn't.
Fine. I've also spoken to Miss Millie in regards to these things. I've been hearing about her wanting to leave too, but it seems she's changed her mind.
Hmm.
She's wishing to grant the favor of Miss Figment and help
Mhm.
in that regard. She said something about feeling that she had purpose when on this training mission, helping Lily and whatnot.
I see.
Yes, she
Didn't
has
want to.
expressed the fact that she wants to learn how to fight and be useful with only one arm, even before considering getting a cybernetic replacement. That might be an insight into why.
All
Well,
right.
I'm glad she's thinking about things and slowly over time. I mean, I've had plenty of time to think, but she is quite new, so
Yeah. Her and Miss Yuffie seem to have a strong connection.
that they do.
Hmm.
Hmm. All right. I'll contact Dan, and then
Wonderful.
once I get her okay, I'll contact Mr. Ondelli to get a meeting set up for you two. Very well. If there's anything else,
Mm.
Actually, thinking about it, do you have any idea of a symbol of a purple eye?
purple eye.
Yes. Do you
All
have any
right, that
idea
thing.
what that could mean?
Nothing that immediately comes to mind. Where did you see this purple eye?
A couple of weeks ago, during the whole Raven Una Lily Fiasco.
Mm-hmm.
I received a message from Miss Lisa, and apparently she was almost like her home defense was hacked.
Hmm.
Or almost hacked. But once she left, but it was hacked when I got there. So
Let me
the only
just check
time something like
my
this
note
was
on
remotely
something. Just in
similar
case.
to being when she being affected by something was Mr. Hermes was around during the black market duel during our wedding.
Hmm.
So
Purple eye. I'm gonna send you something on your phone, and you can tell me whether or not this looks familiar to anything you've seen. If I can find you my amazing contact list that is ever growing.
Oh. Can I see? I was there too. Oh.
yes. Hmm. Let me check. No.
Hmm.
Alright. And
I
I have
don't
no
think
idea what
it's
this purple eye is.
Um.
Here, let me. I believe it was
I
that.
neglected to take a picture of it when we were there. I don't know if you did.
I did. I took a little gif of its animation.
No idea. Nope. That just looks like
Okay.
some weird, shitty, off-brand, like, movie CGI.
Yes, but it's just something I'm trying to investigate, so. All I know is a purple line. It looks similar to that, so I don't know if it's quote unquote the same or if it's different. All I know is I'm just. If we do find our sister there, that'd be hard to put her out of her
Yes,
misery.
we had a mission about that, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Something we'll need to investigate, won't we? Something she mentioned at the Purple Lotus, I believe. Was it?
Mm-hmm. It was, yes. She has a sister who was taken when she was younger because they were twins, and the whole purpose of the quote unquote study that was told to her family was that it was to have a short little study on the effect of twins. But
Remind me, was that in Marlow as well, or
yeah, she was
were her
taken to
twins?
Marlow.
Okay, alright. Well, I can see if our inside informant can get me any information on this twin. See if we can see if this twin is still even alive, and if they're a part of anything.
Maybe. I don't know. I doubt it, depending on how long ago it was. since Marlowe's been up and running for decades now. Almost probably even a century, if not more. It's been going for a very long time.
That would seem. Okay, now is that everything? Or.
I can't think of anything else.
No mysterious eyes that I need to know of? No sudden reports that you may have forgotten to miss out? Or
Unless,
Fallen's trying to murder us or something?
unless you want to hear reports about my excellent tomato ice cream.
I think I'm good. But I am gonna
I
be
figured,
sad to
I
say that
figured.
I will miss such reports if you do leave us, Miss Waxlove.
If anything, just come back when you repaid the debt.
Yes, Nicholas will miss you very much, and so will I. I'm sure many of us here will too.
You know, ideally, that's the plan.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I have no
That's good.
conception on how long that might take.
Of course. Time can either go really fast in this life or really slow.
Indeed. Depending on the mission, how if it goes well, I believe that the Fallen would be receiving the equipment while we get the serums, right? Or something like
Yes.
that. It might be better if, for a period, they have the more scientists so they can do more work when they have the better equipment.
We quite literally need the serums to keep someone alive anyway. So. And we do have good enough equipment compared to them. You feel like Strange when he says, I'll build you a lab. He deck it out with something.
Anything.
We have basics, right? At least.
In
We
fact,
have
it
a
might
high
even be.
school microscope.
In
and
fact,
a-
it might even be worse than if we had not been built a lab, honestly.
Yes, and we have the only expensive things is the high school microscope and the
Charging port.
Charging.
supermarket meat deli freezer that we have to store bodies. I think those two are the most expensive things we have, other than my eye. Because my eye does the same thing as the high school.
Maybe the Fallen will let us take some equipment if they take pity on us.
Yeah, you know, once again, honestly, it we probably would have gotten more science done if Mr. Strange had not built us a lab.
Ain't that fucking ironic?
To be honest. By now, at least.
Once again, proving himself to be one of the worst council members.
Due to the limitations we operate
Yes,
under.
Otherwise, yes. So, all I know is the Fallen desperately wanted to send Mr. Tay as a consultant to deal with synthetics, and how to deal with them. So, the explosive way. So, there's that.
There's that. Alright. Ugh. I'll see what I can get done for you as soon as possible, and we will prep. Is there any recommendations of who you want to go on with you on this mission?
Oh, the mission is going to be securing a location, right?
Well, the lab itself. I mean,
Are we securing the location or just getting the equipment and the serum and the scientists out? That's what I think is determined. Because I know there's different people have good for point hold, different people are good for snatch and grab. Depending on the size of the equipment, we might have to take it and
Preferably, it's always good for us to take more territory and claim it as our own. It gives us another place to operate out of, as well as store supplies and whatnot. And it's a bit more ground for us. So ideally, that would be the objective. However, if the situation doesn't allow it, then smash and grab is the best next thing. If they
Indeed,
send
we
in
have
like
the
30
easier.
Hulks and a Promethean after you, then yeah, I'd say smash and grab. But if they don't, well, I think you'll be good enough to do what needs to be done.
I'll take a look at our roster to see who I need, because I am thinking if it's high tech enough, we might need to bring in a
Techie.
techie and somebody
Well,
who's
if you have any of the recommendations, please let me know.
indeed. And will this mission be this Friday or next?
Should be this Friday.
This Friday, got it. I will start making a list and taking a look at who I could bring in. It's 4 people, right, or 3?
Well, considering it's a
5.
joint mission, it might be. I feel like in total it may be around 6. 3 whispers, 3 fallen. But if
All
it's
right.
4, then I'd say group for 4 just to be safe. But I'd say it's most likely going to be 3.
Indeed. Yeah, I'll try to get into. Unless you want to get in contact with Miss Van, I know you'll be talking to her soon about setting up the mission and who to bring. Because if we
I'll
just
be
both
talking.
bring lightly armored people, it might go horribly wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
All right.
I'll wait for details for that from you. And then otherwise,
Get on out of here, you rapscallions.
I have enjoyed my visit to the
Raps.
principal's office.
Please don't call it that.
This is
You missed it. The fallen officer came and raided our base briefly. They did a few wheelies outside the front.
I've heard.
Yeah, they were very loud. Bad day to come in, so I was feeling unwell that day.
Apparently there was 8-bit Rick Astley.
Mm-hmm.
At least some of the denizens of the Hollow are now cultured a bit.
Sure. That's one way to put it.
Anyways. Going back to the lab and looking at this Tiger 1.
Mm-hmm.
Need me, I'll be in my office.
All right.
Alright. Scene?
Scene. Hello.
Hello. Alright, I'm blowing up the hollow. Alt F4.
No.
Oh no.
That's why
You-
this middle
it's
one's
been
in
it's
here.
all been a simulation.
One for that,
It's all a
this
s-
one, and this is just
it's,
Oh,
destroy
yes, you
it.
got the one for the blue screen, one for the
I'm
coding,
so
and then one
glad.
just
I
be
don't
like,
know. I don't know why
yes.
this map came with 3 keyboards to 2 monitors, but it's great. It's
For this, my secret engine I open, I press this and my
I-
chair goes down on the
I
ground.
didn't feel like changing it.
Secret tunnel.
It was so good. I didn't feel like changing it.
You changed
like
this,
it.
though.
Oh yeah, that I changed. That couldn't resist.
Can't believe I.
Hey, nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know, right? It's all about the.
It's the illusion of
It's
what
the-
it looks like.
Yeah, it's the illusion exactly.
If I look like I'm busy,
I figured.
with my 2
I
computer
figured
screens,
this
I'm
would
doing a lot of work.
this would fit you exactly, or fit Toku exactly.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I a very
I'd blue screen that one, then I'd do Pong on this one.
Pong. Pong of all things. No. We need to put the Space Ace pinball on that one.
see.
That's such a good game.
It is.
See. I am so glad that Nicholas doesn't care about these things. Right
Yeah,
about
no,
now.
Nicholas doesn't care about people's opinions or anything. Like,
Imagine.
the only sad thing is that, but the caveat is that the fact that we are working together. That I literally just got messaged by Zhao of like, oh yeah, let's set up our science things.
Mm.
So we're gonna be. So it's not even really gonna matter. It might actually be better that you go over there to get the data, more data from
Yeah.
better equipment.
I mean, I have considered that. That is, you know, that is an in-character consideration, not the one that I'm presenting as the forward-facing reason. But it also is not the reason. In fact, nobody's gotten the reason except for Millie. But that's the reason. But
The reason.
and there are multiple reasons.
Mm.
I feel like Nicholas could probably call me out on my bullshit.
I to me. I
I-
to me. On stream.
You sent it in my chat. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I feel like Nicholas could
The
probably
eye.
call me out on.
Yeah, purple eye. That's something that I've been trying to figure out now.
Isn't that Shenrock's other character that works right beside us for the AI lady?
I don't know. It might be.
I think it is.
It's
'cause I
some
think
some
she-
Yeah.
some Malleus
I-
stuff
Mm.
probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have fun with that, buddy. Don't bring it home.
Try not to.
Oh boy.
Work and home life are so completely separated.
Yeah, you have to keep them separated, but then sometimes, you know, it comes in and it's
You just
can't help it.
use the one to get information on the other, and then yeah.
How's
just
the kid?
just send your son after it. It's easy.
Which
Yeah,
one?
so
I have
just
Yuffie
really-
and I have Yuffie. I
Your
have
son.
Yuria. Oh, he's doing good. Yeah.
I don't know, Yuffie was a boy. Is that the
No,
secret?
no. He's been playing you. They've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and we've given the catbot, or our catbot, just named Cat, who has an algorithm, also a deck to make the perfect deck, and then we try to beat him. Which is the
All right,
greatest
I
thing.
believe.
Because the clip
Hello,
of
Craig.
Splatoon of just
How are you doing? Sorry, I
of
didn't.
Lilo just going like max volume.
It's actually
To
I
just,
actually did not see
no
you.
hesitate, just yell at max
Was,
volume. Was brilliant.
do be difficult
yeah,
to read.
We tried
chat.
to set up something last Thursday, but things got in the way where they had IRL
But
issues.
yep, nope, that's
It's
about
always
it.
this week.
Yeah.
Quick scheme for today.
Another surprise, apparently.
Not
Oh boy.
Not too
you
much
love
else.
some
Hmm.
fun.
we are closer and
Is this a
closer.
surprise for us all, or just a surprise for you
Oh.
in particular?
That's about it.
I technically know about it. Nick doesn't.